This is Minutia Men with Rick and Dave.
All right, so, yeah, it's a holy day for me today.
Yeah, well, it's not sundown yet.
No, but it actually was sundown last night. This is the repent for the sin one.
Oh,
right?
This is the biggie.
This is the granddad. This is the Rose Bowl of
this
Jews,
is this is the sad face one. The other one's a happy face
right.
one.
It's going to be a happy face once we get to go to the buffet afterwards after break fast.
Okay,
but
which is when? When is that? When is the
sundown? Today, right?
Okay,
but today I should be.
Not doing anything.
Well, no, I should
praying.
be. Yes, right.
Okay.
But I've decided that this is more important. So my eternal damnation.
Oh my God.
Yeah, this podcast is more
Let me help
important
you
than my
pitch this.
Yeah.
You don't pitch it that you have fun doing it. You're doing this for the listeners.
Right.
I mean, who are you to deprive them of this because 30 minutes?
Because that would be another sin.
It would be.
So, and then it would just be another thing that I'd have to pray about.
Yeah.
So, right. Yeah,
exactly. So this is really, you're cutting out the middleman here.
Cutting out the middleman. But plus, and you told me a few shows ago that Jews don't believe in hell.
It's true.
That's what you tell me.
Yeah, isn't it true?
I don't. You know more about it than I do.
I thought it was true.
I think it is true. So it's like.
See, I don't believe in it either.
Once you take hell out of the equation, everything becomes easier.
Including doing Minutia Men with Rick and Dave.
The following is a Tony Lasano podcast, an Whoopie production on the Radio Misfits Podcast Network. This is Minutia Men with Rick and Dave.
So I got a call from Julia this morning.
Yeah, your daughter.
Yeah, like 10, 12 or whatever. Daddy, I'm so hungry. Because she's fasting.
Oh.
Yeah, but you start fasting. Okay, see, and now I'm going to get into trouble. And I don't want to belittle the fasting because I haven't done it. But, Muslims...
Yeah,
do it.
Muslims, or they were like tiny little moose, so like a moose family. Muslims, right?
You could say Muslims or Muslims.
Okay.
It's fine. But no, I'm not talking about little bullwinkles. Okay.
Hey, rookie.
Okay, I'm not gonna do that.
Nothing on my sleeve.
Okay, but they will do it. And the Ramadan lasts for I don't know,
like a month,
30 days.
Yeah,
and they do it like. Every day. Pretty much, right? Jews do it one day, and all they do is complain about it. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So Julia calls me, like I said, at 10, 12 in the morning. I'm like, when was the last time you ate? Like 10 o'clock last night or something. I'm like, come on.
Right. And she's like, the size of... she's literally in my pocket right now. Here she is. There she is.
She's Thumbelina, basically. All right, well, perhaps this is... a lightning bolt coming from, and we better get this going.
Let's get rocking.
Have you noticed, I don't know if you're aware of this, but there's a lot of weird stuff on the internet.
I have noticed that, yes.
And our listeners are pretty good at finding it. Right?
They are.
And we are, so I propose that we add a new feature. We'll get Vinny to do a jingle that we won't pay him for.
Okay.
I don't know what you want to call it. You want to call it I don't know. Weird internet stuff. I don't know what. There's just something. So what listeners will do will send us a weird clip of something.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Well, I got one. I was texted one, and I showed it to you.
Yes.
I'm not real happy that I was texted, meaning that somebody got my phone number.
Oh.
I don't know who this person is, but they texted this, and I think this is a great premiere for this bit.
Jill, and today was going to be my birthday. But I was hit by an ice cream truck before I could have my party. I'm dead now, and I'm in heaven. You see, that's why my parents didn't pick up the cake at the bakery. Oh, I'm not mad at the ice cream truck driver, even though he was drunk when he hit me. It didn't hurt much. It wasn't even as bad as the sting of a bumblebee. I'm really happy here. I'm glad the driver was drunk. If he hadn't have been, I might never have got to heaven for years and years and years. I would have had to go to the high school first, and then to beauty college, and I would have had to get married and have babies and everything. Now I can just play and play and play. Everybody up here is happy. The animals, the dead soldiers, the people who went to the electric chair, and everything.
Jesus.
Nobody's mad. We're all too busy playing shuffleboard. So if you think of killing anybody, don't worry about it. Just go right ahead and do it. Whoever you do it to should kiss you for doing it. Oh, the soldiers just love the shrapnel and the tanks and the bayonets. And the dum-dums that let them play shuffleboard all the time and drink beer.
Wow. What in the world is that?
All right, so I did a little digging. There's this thing called AI. So I put in... It was obviously a clip from something.
Yeah.
And I put in some of the text, and AI told me that it was from that is a clip from the 1971 movie Happy Birthday Wanda June.
Okay.
Happy Birthday Wanda June is based on a Kurt Vonnegut play, a 1970 Kurt Vonnegut play.
Okay.
So they made a movie out of it. He hated it.
Yeah,
as you could tell. As you could tell why. But the actress who is playing that little girl, her name is Pamela Ferdin.
Right.
And Pamela Ferdin is your Facebook friend.
She is. Yes.
So we have reached out. The gears are in motion to have Pamela Ferdin on. Yeah. So
I don't know how she became my Facebook friend. That's the weirdest thing. I don't know.
Well, back in 1971, she was a little creepy kid.
Well, we were creepy kids too in 1974.
Sure, but she was well documented.
Not that creepy.
So we cordially invite our listeners to start sending prefer you to not text me them, but weird stuff, and and what's going to be great about it is then it's going to be less things that we have to do.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
So.
Okay, great. Well, I have a story for you. This is a pretty weird one. Are you ready for this?
No.
In 2024, Carmen married her husband Daniel. It's a nice story, right? Well, this marriage is a little more complicated than most. You see, Carmen is a conjoined twin. She shares some ribs, a circulatory system, a digestive system, and a reproductive system with her sister Lupita.
Okay.
They each have their own heart, lungs, and stomach, but they share all that other stuff.
Okay.
All right. So, Dave, knowing this... And knowing that they're married, she's married.
Yeah.
One of the sisters is married.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, what is the first question you would ask? What's the first thing that you would wonder about?
Copulation.
Exactly. Right.
What do you do? I mean,
how does that even work?
Right. Is there a curtain? Is there?
Well, it turns out People Magazine has this covered. It was in People Magazine.
Okay.
And so this is, how do they have sex, right? How does it happen? Well, it's the traditional way. It happens the traditional way, except a few accommodations have to be made. Now, just try to visualize this in your head, right?
So you have to convince two people basically to
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. Right. She's only married to the one.
Yeah, but I know the other one's always there.
I know, but so this is how they handle it. To distract Lupita from what's going on when there's stuff going on. Carmen just talks to her sister normally as if nothing is happening. Which, if you think about it, is kind of like being married. It's just for normal people.
Yeah, right.
Like, what do you think of the paint color? Should we change it to eggshell white? That sort of thing.
I think evening slipper would definitely be.
Exactly. That's how it works. And if that doesn't work, Lupita puts on headphones.
Okay, well, noise.
Right, exactly.
My kids do it and they can't hear me.
Sure, exactly. It would make sense, right? Now, the People Magazine also asked the husband, Daniel.
Who's not conjoined.
Who's not conjoined, but becomes conjoined occasionally.
Intertwined.
Yeah, as a married man, probably not as much as he'd like, but it still happens. So they asked him, People Magazine asked him, about this. They said, how does that work? And his answer was, none of your fucking business. For real. That's in the magazine.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, and he's got a point. But
he uses that point.
But if you're going to marry a conjoined twin, you got to expect you're going to get these questions.
Please.
Right? So she's there at the wedding. I mean, did they have... Yeah, that's... You really got to like the sister, too. Right? I mean,
you got no choice.
Right,
what if the sister's a bitch?
But then you know how you're saying that, well, I'm not marrying your family? You're kind of marrying your family.
Well, in this case, you really are. Okay. But it's not as creepy as your story. It's not as creepy as your story.
Hey, we've got a review from Overlook 4.
Okay.
Which is interesting because that's the last word of the review. Yeah. Love the contemporary topics and their witty, insightful take on everything from pop culture to the little details others overlook. So I think that they just, all right, I got to come up with a screen name. What's the last word I just typed into it, but overlooked. But so thank you. And everybody, please review.
Yeah,
and like and share.
Yeah, when you give us reviews, that actually helps helps us.
Helps
somehow.
our egos.
I don't know how, but
we show it to
helps us move up the listings, which and we're pretty high up there already.
Top 1%, Rick.
Top 1%.
1%ers.
Time now for Studio Walls.
And the words of the prophets were written on the studio walls.
So the one twin would just like talk about the weather while.
The one that the wife would be like, so anyway, what do you think about omelets? Should we have omelets for dinner?
Did you see the last episode of The Bear?
Right, exactly.
Well, that's a little humiliating.
A little. It's a little. I mean, it's not ideal for the husband. No. Put it that way. But he knew what he was getting into.
We've got to get him on the show. I mean, obviously, he's doing interviews with people.
I think he may not be doing interviews.
After that one, okay.
So this is the part of the show where we go back into the Rick and Dave archives and we feature some of our previous stuff that we have shared. And Studio Walls this week, October 1st, 1962, is the anniversary of The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson debuting.
Who was before him? Was that Steve Parr? Was it?
It was Jack Parr.
Jack Parr. I'm sorry, Jack Parr.
Steve Allen was also a Tonight Show guy.
Was he before?
I think he was before Jack Parr.
Okay.
And then, but anyway, Johnny Carson is the one that we grew up with, and that was a big deal.
He wasn't nearly as woke as the one now.
That's true. And we found out that we had a guest coming on our show. His name was Carmen Fanzone. Who was a member of the Chicago Cubs during our youth, around the time of Johnny's the top of his popularity. Yeah. And there was always a rumor amongst us, and we just accepted this as fact.
Urban legend.
That Carmen Fanzone was on The Tonight Show.
Right. Well, because he was a trumpeter.
He was a trumpet player, yes. Right. So we found out while we talked to, during our interview with Carmen, that is not the case. So let's play that.
I did play the national anthem. It was on June 18th, 1972. We were playing the Dodgers, and it turns out that that's my wife's birthday, and I hadn't met her yet. And my wife is a famous jazz singer, Sue Rainey. And, of course, we were playing the Dodgers, and when I moved out here, in fact, that was Father's Day that day also. And she was born on Father's Day, which only occurs like every 7 or 8 years. So there were so many things that fell into place that particular day. And when I moved out here, and the fact that we were playing the Dodgers, a lot of my musician friends that I met had seen the game, and so they knew about me and my music background. But and then the Tonight Show thing, I don't know how that got started. It got in the papers that I never did play in the Tonight Show band, because playing in that band is like making the Hall of Fame for a musician.
Yeah, that
was really that was really but I used to hang out there a couple of times a week, because a couple of the trumpet players in the band, Johnny Audino and Conti Condoli, they saw me play in Dodger Stadium, and they saw me hit a home run in Dodger Stadium. And for the years, they're both passed now, but anytime that I saw them, they would always talk about the home run at Dodger Stadium. We never talked music when I was with those guys. That's all they ever talked about was my home run, and they thought it was off of Koufax, but it wasn't. It was off of Bill Singer.
No, it wasn't. It was off of Koufax. That's the story you got to start telling.
You didn't correct them, did you?
Right. I couldn't change their mind.
Yeah, exactly. And why bother?
They knew it was Koufax. But it was off Bill Singer.
There it is.
That's very cool. That's very cool.
Yeah, so if you've heard that story, the Carmen Fanzone, former Cubs infielder, good old number 23, by the way, Ryan Sandberg's number.
Yeah. No one's wearing that again.
Yeah, that's right. It is not a true story. All right, we have more.
This story here comes out of the fatherland. Grab your lederhosen and your schmaltz. Right. All right. The city of Kassel. Do you know K-A-S?
Kassel, yeah.
Where is Kassel?
It's in the Rhine Valley, I think.
Okay. Have you ever been there?
I've driven through there.
Okay. Well, the city of Kassel is often called Europe's raccoon capital.
Oh.
Okay. It's again, a lot of raccoons get there, and sometimes there's too many raccoons, overpopulation of raccoons.
Yep.
Right now, they've got about 30,000 masked intruders they call them masked intruders.
Yeah, that's very German.
Officials had launched, to combat this, officials have launched a pilot program to reduce the numbers humanely. Okay. So what they would do is they'd bait the animals with strawberry jam. They'd capture them in steel boxes, and then they transport them to holding areas. Camps, if you will.
Oh, my God.
There, each raccoon is sterilized by being sprayed in a shower-like compartment.
Wow.
Fitted with an ear tag.
We really do have a modus operandi, don't we?
It's in we know this works. Why invent a new mouse trap, right? And they fitted with an ear tag, and then they are released back into the city. The system was designed with trademark German efficiency, precise timetables, meticulous records, okay, and the promise of trimming the population by 20%. And everything was going good. I mean, everything was fine. But they also had a proposal to to send the raccoons. I'll say deport the raccoons entirely to forests in the east, too. I'm not making this up. They're going to go, let's just send them to the east, right?
They'll never even notice.
Well, some people are complaining. Actually, the hunters are complaining because I think
who hunts raccoons?
I don't know. I didn't get into that. But here's a quip from one of the city officials. If raccoons could read, they'd contest our paperwork. Instead, we gave them a quick spray, a yellow tag on the ear, and a punctual return to holding. It's the municipal spa nobody in Kassel wanted, but it runs on time. Did you hear the color that I just said there? Let me look at I want to show you this picture here. Okay. Yeah. What's the color of that ear tag?
That would be yellow.
Yellow. Am I the only one that has that's uncomfortable with the color of the ear tag of the raccoons that are being deported? So.
Yeah. Not feeling good about that story. Not feeling good about it. All right, well, I have a story for you.
Well, I have an idea of what we can do.
Last week we didn't have a show. You had a death in the family.
Yes, I wanted.
It was very sad.
My father-in-law passed away. Really lovely man. I'm going to get a little weepy talking about it. He, if there's good news about it, he golfed on Monday.
Yeah.
He golfed on Wednesday. And I don't know what he shot, but he shot well in the...
He was a good golfer.
Like high 80s, low 90s or whatever. And he was 87. Sadly, he had a stroke and passed away within a couple of days. But... so
that was sad. That's the reason why we didn't do a show last week. And, while we were not having a show, there was a huge show in Chicago called RiotFest, right? RiotFest.
You've never been to RiotFest?
I've never been. But it's here every year.
Green Day was there one there?
What's that?
Was Green Day there?
I don't know. But I'll tell you who was there. This is the story. John Stamos was there. That's who was there.
Really?
At RiotFest 2025, which was on September 20th. And he was part of the Beach Boys show. Now, the reason I bring this story up...
did the Beach Boys...
Yeah, the Beach Boys were at RiotFest.
Without, of course, the dead
Well,
ones.
I mean, they're all dead, except for, a couple of them.
Nick Johnson, who no one knows about. Or no.
But this is why this is an interesting story. Since 2013, RiotFest has been jokingly saying that John Stamos was going to be there. They would put a listing out there for his imaginary band Jesse and the Rippers.
Okay,
from the show.
Okay,
as a headliner of their lineup. One year they hired someone to mold John Stamos' bust out of butter.
Okay,
and it was like a running gag.
It was a shtick. Okay.
It had been happening for years. Well, this year they booked the Beach Boys, hoping that John Stamos would come because he does play with the Beach Boys occasionally, believe it or not. Yes, he does. And John Stamos was alerted to the wackiness of this and sent in a list of demands.
Oh, that's great.
And the list of demands are pretty hilarious. Are you ready? He said that the founder of RiotFest had to get a John Stamos tattoo.
Ooh, okay.
Which he did.
Okay.
A John Stamos lookalike contest had to be hosted there, which it was. A local Chicago pizza restaurant needed to create a Greek-style pizza named after and in honor of John Stamos, which happened.
Feta cheese, probably, right?
Yep. And then John Stamos' green room
Yeah.
must be stocked with the following items. You ready? A body pillow of John Stamos. A nude painting of B. Arthur.
Okay.
Unlimited hummus served in a Gibson guitar case.
Okay.
A RiotFest Twitter. The RiotFest Twitter person must give John Stamos a foot rub. And then a special John Stamos RiotFest T-shirt must be designed and approved by John Stamos. And no one is allowed to make eye contact with John Stamos' hair.
Yeah.
And whenever John Stamos says RiotFest, he's allowed to say Riot Fart. And John Stamos masks must be printed out for the crowd to wear.
Okay.
Now, this is all fun stuff,
of course.
right?
Yeah.
He did it. It's a Giordano's Pizza created the Stamos Supreme Pizza. The whole thing is a lesson in marketing. It was a huge deal. He played dressed in black leather with the band. Did a Beach Boys song Forever. Dedicated it to his late Full House co-star Bob Saget,
Who just passed away a few years ago.
Yeah, a few years ago.
Yeah.
So that just, I mean, they've got a Dave Stern on staff there.
I got to get John Stamos to speak to guest host the class.
Absolutely.
One of my classes.
All right. So anyway, that's that story. We have another show. And this past week we interviewed, I interviewed because Dave was gone. Interviewed Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdoms, Peter Gross. He's the guy who replaced Marlon Perkins.
Not Marlon Perkins. You couldn't get him.
Marlon Perkins is dead.
Yeah.
Jim Fowler is dead.
Oh, he was. Oh, yeah, that's
They're
right.
both gone.
Yeah.
But Peter Gross is the guy who is. He actually was part of the show way back. Okay. And the show debuted, by the way, when we were born. The year we were born, 1963. That's been around
after
for
Carmen
that.
Fanzone.
And it's appropriate that it's posted this week because Jane Goodall passed away this week, and then she just passed away yesterday.
Oh my God, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, she was 91 years old. She just passed
I
away.
always thought it would be weird to be married to Jane Goodall.
Why is that?
Well, because no matter what you do as a husband, the ape could use a stick to get termites or whatever, and she would be like, "Oh my God, did you know that Sinbad did that or whatever?" It's like, I just rebuilt the deck.
Could be worse. Could be a conjoined twin.
Okay, could be.
All right.
But I always thought that being the husband of Jane Goodall would be a tough lift.
I guess I've never really thought of it that way.
Not to mention perhaps genitalia as well.
See, now this does not come up in the interview, but you want to check it out. It's episode number 186 of Minutia Men's Celebrity Interview.
I did not know Jane Goodall. She was just at Lincoln Park Zoo last week.
It just happened yesterday.
Time now for Celebrity Potpourri with Rick and Dave.
So, people have started sending us emails. You talked about the wacky bit at the beginning. We kind of already do it here at the end of the show. And this is an email from Jack M. I know Rick is a huge Beatles fan. Instead of asking which one is his favorite Beatle, I thought I'd send this video of Ethan Hawke explaining his favorite Beatle. It's from a show called Subway Takes. Let's see if I can find it here.
Ethan Hawke has a new movie out too, doesn't he?
He does, and that's why he's probably doing a lot of this publicity. So here is Ethan Hawke talking about his favorite Beatle.
So what's your take?
There is no such thing as your favorite Beatle.
100% disagree.
Disagree?
Yeah, dude, Lennon's the best Beatle.
You've never heard of John Lennon without Paul McCartney. The magic of the Beatles, the reason why you care about John Lennon, the reason why I care about John Lennon, is because of the chemistry. It's the combination that created the greatest rock band in the history of the world.
It is undeniable that what they did together is, they were the sum of all parts.
And to say I have a favorite Beatle, it's like saying I have a favorite ventricle of my heart. It doesn't make any sense. This is a metaphor for mankind.
Elaborate.
You gotta have somebody you want to party with. You're going out and you're partying with the Beatles, right? Who makes the party happen? Ringo Starr. Here's the problem. If you're just hanging with Ringo, somebody please have a substantive conversation. Somebody's got to say, hey guys, why were we born? Why do we have to die?
And that's where George comes in?
And that's where George comes in. And somebody's got to take the piss out of George, who's just as smart of him. That's where Lennon comes in. And Lennon starts hogging the conversation. And then you got Paul. And Paul's like, hey man, why don't we play some music? Why don't we stop talking? Paul McCartney, one of the greatest musicians of all time, had to sing backup for All You Need Is Love.
Right.
John Lennon had to play rhythm guitar and sing backup for Hey Jude. What's that? It's called humility, kids.
There it is.
Who was your favorite Beatle?
I kind of agree with him, because I have different favorite Beatles all the time. But usually it's John. I mean, I named my second son John.
Right.
But I love Paul. I just paid. I don't even want to tell you how much money I paid to go see Paul coming up.
You bought 6 tickets, right?
I didn't. Bridget did. And she's confident we're going to be able to get rid of those.
Okay.
The boys are going to join us, I think, so we'll be okay. But
are the boys going to pay?
They do.
Okay, well,
pay.
then there you go.
But I think that's kind of a cool little thing.
Paul is 81.
What's that?
How old is Paul? 81?
Paul is 83.
83.
Yeah.
Oh.
But these are the kind of conversations you have on the subway. I kind of like the idea of the show. That was all on the subway in New York. They were having that conversation.
Is that
Subway Takes? It's called.
All right.
If you want to check it out. And thank you, Jack, for sending that to us.
I think Ringo might be my favorite.
Yeah,
he's just kind of the groovy.
Well, I wanted to name Tommy Ringo.
Yeah, and
it didn't fly.
I wanted to name Lila Daltrey.
And that also did not fly.
Work either.
It's almost like they don't care what we think. Yeah, which is fine.
Can you imagine being married to 2 people that don't care what you think, or being married to one who's conjoined to another person who doesn't care what you think?
No,
right?
I cannot. All right,
so I wonder if they talk about him right in front of him.
Right? Ooh, I hadn't even thought of that. I hadn't even thought. I'm right here.
I'm in the room. I'm in the bed here.
Yeah. Well,
don't you hate it when he does blah, blah, blah?
We have people to thank. We need to thank our executive producer of the show, Tony Lasano, with Opie Shows. We need to thank
Ed Silla
with the Radio Misfits Podcast Network. Great Talk Radio isn't dead. Just moved to a better place, radiomisfits.com.
And let's also thank Peter Gross, who took the time to do an interview, which will be on our other show.
And it's a fun interview. I highly recommend it. But it's time for our audio of war.
Okay.
And this goes back to this date in 1999. All right, so 26 years ago this week, the movie Elmo in Grouchland was released.
When I hear like 99 or when I think it's like 5 years ago.
I know. It's 26 years ago.
That's not cool.
Well, this is how you can tell, because my son at the time was 3.5 years old, Tommy Kempfer, and he did a movie review for the John Landecker show, and that's going to be our audio of war.
What's Tommy's middle name?
Thomas Peter Kempfer.
Isn't one of them Harrison? Would you have a middle name?
Sean Harrison Kempfer. Yeah. All right, here's Tommy.
Okay, I'm here with WJMK movie reviewer Tommy Kempfer. Tommy, what movie did we see today?
Elmo in Grouchland.
Elmo in Grouchland. Would you say that Elmo was the star of the movie?
Yeah.
What was the name of the bad guy?
Huxley.
Huxley. Did he have funny eyebrows?
Yeah.
Were they really bushy?
Yeah, weren't they really bushy?
Yeah, I thought they were too. Did you like the movie?
Yeah.
If you had to give the movie stars, would it be 1 star, 2 stars, 3 stars, or 4 stars?
4.
4. So you really liked it. You'd recommend it, huh? Did you like the director?
Yeah.
Did you like the cinematographer?
Yeah.
What did you think about the way they always broke the fourth wall and talked directly into the camera? Did you like that?
Yeah.
And can you give us just one more time a capsule review? What is your assessment of the new Elmo movie?
A kiss to Elmo. A kiss to Elmo.
And Tommy, what radio station are you with?
104.3.
I'm sure you got paid SAG rates for that.
See you next week.
The proceeding was a presentation of the Radio Misfits Podcast Network. Find our other great shows on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and at radiomisfits.com. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
This has been a presentation of Whoopie Productions.
Tony, can you shut up?